Hi, beautiful people. How are ya? I'm Dr. Pammy Jean. I hope you're having a great day. We're 6 episodes into this series on the root causes of fibromyalgia. Well, as of today's video, 7 episodes. At the end of this video will be the link to the series if you haven't watched them. We've learned about abnormal pain processing, dorsal root ganglia, neuronal hyperexcitability, oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, and inflammation, neuroinflammation, and neurogenic inflammation. Today is about autonomic dysfunction, episode 6. Here we go. Future episodes are about small fiber neuropathy, which I've done several videos on that topic. I know that some of you have small fiber neuropathy, and maybe some of you have it and don't know it. Then we're going to talk about stressful life events. So today is a preparation for that, but just saying the words makes my heart heavy. And as a Christian, I know my Father loves me and he loves you. And he's always with me as I travel through difficult times. And he has lifted me up. He still does. What can be hard is to allow him, God the Father, to comfort us. Sometimes I have to ask for forgiveness when I'm stubborn. And still, he gives me strength and healing so that I can comfort others, not to hoard my peace in Jesus Christ, but to share it. And even in the darkest hours, Jesus is there to comfort me. I hope you allow him to comfort you as well. Love you. Fibromyalgia was considered a sympathetically maintained pain syndrome starting in the early 2000s. Abnormal activity in the sympathetic nervous system was thought to be involved in the pathogenesis of chronic pain syndromes. And of course it is, but there's more to the story. In 2011, researchers also stated that patients suffering from fibromyalgia have sympathetic nervous system dysfunction. It was called a sympathetically maintained neuropathic pain syndrome. Quote, sympathetically maintained pain is a symptom which occurs in neuropathic pain syndromes of different etiologies. But in 2022, researchers disagreed that fibromyalgia is a sympathetically maintained disease. Over time, the autonomic nervous system, the large category that the sympathetic nervous system is part of, is a culprit. You have the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, and parasympathetic nervous system. This is the umbrella. So the biggest picture is the autonomic nervous system involvement. Since I'm going to be saying autonomic nervous system so often, I'm just going to say ANS. The ANS includes the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Time changes things, doesn't it? And that's why I believe that one day they will say that fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disease. Things take time, right? Anywho, researchers discovered that the autonomic nervous system, or ANS, was dysfunctioning and stated it may play a role in the pathophysiology of fibro. This ANS dysfunction may be explained by the involvement of small fiber neuropathy. It cannot be determined, though, if chronic pain is a cause or consequence of ANS dysfunction. The decreased sympathetic and parasympathetic response in patients with fibromyalgia exhibiting neuropathic pain characteristics may be a sign of small fiber involvement. And we'll talk about small fiber neuropathy in the next video. But I feel like we need to understand a few symptoms related to our autonomic nervous system. This ANS dysfunction includes the following issues. Here comes the music. There are a multitude of autonomic symptoms. The following symptoms are often reported by patients with fibro. These are ANS dysfunction symptoms. More music. People with fibromyalgia often struggle with ANS disorders. This dysfunction may contribute to enhanced pain and other clinical problems associated with fibromyalgia. Now, I am just wondering if any of you experience the issues listed just now before you develop fibro, or perhaps after, or maybe at the same time. Just look at these disorders and conditions. Or music. The following conditions can cause or contribute to dysautonomia symptoms. The only thing that I've been diagnosed with on that list is vasovagal syncope. But the ANS symptoms I listed, like digestive issues, sensitivity to light, or sensitivity to sound, are also issues for me. What do you experience? I'd love to hear from you. Post it in the comment section. So we have an overactive sympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic nervous system is underactive. It's supposed to be slowing things down for us, but it doesn't function as effectively as it should, which leads to an imbalance and contributes to the symptoms of widespread pain and fatigue. So what does this mean? Fibromyalgia patients report a multitude of autonomic symptoms, including lightheadedness, palpitations, sensitivity to light and sounds, and gastrointestinal symptoms. But there are many more. So yes, autonomic dysfunction explains many of the symptoms of fibro, such as insomnia, IBS, anxiety, orthostatic intolerance, and fatigue, as well as pain. In addition, it's known that there's hyperactivity of the sympathetic nervous system when it's at rest, even, and hypoactivity of the sympathetic nervous system during stressors such as exercise, standing, or cold exposure. So, yes, so much of this fits me, and I imagine that most of this fits you. So, I hope you learned something. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you.